This is just kind of like a random rant video, I guess. Um, I wanted to talk about an epiphany that I had about, and this is mainly directed at Black women, um, specifically monoracial Black women, not biracial Black women. But I finally understand within the Black community why there is so much disdain for us, why so many people dislike us. Whether those people are Black men, whether those people are Black but they're like mixed race Latinos or non-Hispanic, whether they're Asian or white, I finally understand why some people just don't like Black women specifically, and yet they might like Black men. And it has a lot to do with some of our personalities. And it's actually ironic that I'm saying this because I didn't used to understand myself. We are very beautiful people, and we're not that much different than everybody else, except that our skin is darker and our hair is more coarse. But when it comes to some of our personalities, specifically in, I guess it's not just American Black women, because I see Black women from pretty much all over the world also adhere to this bad bitch type of culture, which honestly, when it comes to this whole bad bitch culture, I've never really liked that term. But I did find myself curious about it when I kept hearing the term being used, and I thought I had an understanding of what a quote unquote bad bitch is, but it's not quite what I was starting to think. Now, I'm going to start speaking on my own personal experience with women like this, who I tried to befriend or fit in with, and it just backfired terribly. Like, we just ended up clashing. But even though they tend to have a very beautiful aesthetic, they tend to be very aesthetically pleasing. They'll always have their makeup done and always be, looking good on the outside, and they might wear heels and, they show off their bodies a lot, maybe even too much. But women who consider themselves to be bad bitches, from my experience, tend to also be very violent, have mean girl energy is actually an understatement. It's more than just mean girl energy. I would take it a step further and label it demonic energy because I have actually been the target of hexes and spells and witchcraft from these quote unquote bad bitches. These types of women, they'll lie, they'll backstab, they'll be two-faced, they'll throw hexes, they'll threaten your life, they'll threaten your family, like they're violent. And I have never, I never would have thought that a group of Black women could be this way toward each other. And I'm starting to understand why so many people treat us in a certain way. We aren't really much better. Actually, other people treat us better than we treat each other. I've seen some Black women even go as far as to hurt other innocent children just out of disdain for another Black woman. And it's so weird. It's like, this can't be human energy. This is demonic energy. This is just plain evil. Some women like this who consider themselves to be bad bitches screaming their heads off for nothing. out of nowhere, like nobody said anything, and they just start screaming. That is a sign of demonic possession. It's not like they're screaming because something tragic happened or they're in pain or somebody did. It's just like out of nowhere, hurling insults, hurling a bunch of insults, trying to trigger the next person. And what doesn't help is that I also read news articles, and I've seen too many news articles of Black women shooting their boyfriends for breaking up with them, or shooting their male partners for supposedly cheating. Even if he was cheating, shooting him is not the answer. There's something wrong with this picture, and I feel like it might have a lot to do with the fact that bad bitch culture, they tend to be the type to go to the club, to go out, to drink, to party. And I have my own theory about drugs and alcohol. I think that drugs and alcohol make it easier for demons to enter the body. And I really feel like, it's better to refrain from that as much as you can, not just for your health, but also, no, not just for your physical health and your mental, but also for your spiritual health. Now, I have always been one to respect the differences of Black women. I don't really like to, hold a grudge or dislike another Black woman based off of a difference in culture, because that kind of plays into Willie Lynch's plan of where, he wants us to hate each other based off of our differences. And I just think it's really silly to just to hate another Black woman because of the way she speaks or the way she dresses or the way that she lives her life. But the violence, the the hex throwing, the the evil energy, the evil eye, the constant bullying, that is not a culture. That is toxicity and that is a problem. And when I see all of that and we subject each other to that, I kind of don't blame other people, whether they are Black men, whether they are mixed race, multiracial, biracial people, Latinos, um, even though there are some Latinos who might be like that too, but there are those that are not. And the ones that aren't, I don't blame them either. White people, Asians, I don't blame them for kind of steering clear of us when this is the way we choose to act. It's our personalities. We're so beautiful. We make others jealous. Okay? It's not our look. I don't think that anybody dislikes us because of the way we look. It's the way that we act. A lot of us don't know how to act like ladies. We act like Some of us act like wolves, like dogs. It's not cute. And it also makes it hard. It's like it's hard on me when I go out into the world and before I've even had a chance to open my mouth or do anything, sometimes I get prejudged and I get treated a certain way. It's hard, but it's like I cannot blame the person. 'Cause it's like the person before me probably was horrible. I probably look like somebody who really left a bad taste in their mouth. And I really hope that one day Black women get it together and we stop this madness. Okay, I really wish that we could just kind of trash the bad bitch culture. I don't like being called a bitch. I don't like that word. We're not dogs. I'm not a dog. I also don't like other races feeling comfortable calling me a bitch or us bitches. I don't like that because it's disrespectful. So hopefully, after a while of younger Black women getting tired of being body shamed, getting tired of being treated like dogs, being treated less than human, being disrespected, I hope that one day they finally realize, they take a look at themselves and realize, you know what? I call myself a bad bitch. I call myself a bitch. This is why other people treat me like one. Like a bitch is not a human being. I hope that younger black women look at themselves when they put their most of their body parts on display and they're dancing on stage or they're dancing off stage. They're tired of being body shamed for not having a perfect butt or perfect boobs or whatever. And they realize, you know what? Maybe I should stop putting it on display, and then they will stop body shaming me. And I really do feel like men are far too comfortable body shaming us. But we also body shame each other. We're not much better. And I don't see this being done to women of other races. But one thing that I notice that they do is that they respect each other and they tend to respect themselves. A lot of us need therapy. A lot of black women are very mentally ill, and it's because we have a lot of trauma. It's like it's very hard, to get through this world as a black woman without experiencing a certain level of trauma. So that's why professional mental health is necessary. Black women need to stop being so afraid of being called mentally ill. Stop being afraid of a psychiatrist, of seeing one. It's not an insult, it's necessary. Stop being afraid of getting a psychological evaluation and being afraid of therapy. It's okay to admit that you're not perfect and something is wrong with you and you need help. That way, it doesn't come out in you abusing others and abusing yourself. And, pretty much it's just a lot of sabotage I see within the Black community in America. Now, I'm going to elaborate on this further, probably later on. I don't really, this is just kind of like a random video I decided to make, but I'll kind of dive deeper into a few topics that I brought up in this little video. But I want you guys, if you're listening, to let this marinate and really think about, what I said, because it is a hidden problem or a real problem that's only going to get bigger if it's not fixed. Okay? Good night, everybody.